This is INMF.
Oh, what's on, man? We on, man.
Yeah,
What's
what's up
going
with
on,
it?
Kevin? How you doing?
All ain't nothing but nose picking and hose tricking, man. You know how it is. Some more.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. What's the word with you,
Shit,
nigga?
chilling. I'm trying some new shit. Well, so as you can see, I got my glasses on. I'm letting them eyeballs rest from the contacts, man. Like one of my biggest problems.
Oh, you rock
Yeah, I
contact?
wear my contact about 90% of the time.
Oh, so you got colored contacts and shit around this bitch with hazel eyes and shit. The
I
blue-eyed
used to,
bandit can't
nigga.
stand it.
Nah, say I never had the color contact.
Let me find your old chocolate ass out here with
Look,
blue
hey, straight up,
contact. Looking like a symphony
straight
bar and
up. Like when I
shit.
was younger, what was it? It was about 16, 17. That's before I even wore contacts at all. I was wearing glasses, had the thick frames and shit. And I had some of the
Okay.
glasses that I had when I was like 17 was them Harry Potters. Like it had the circular frames, but they were real big, like fucking binoculars.
Yeah, you hire everybody
yeah,
first pay.
you,
Your mom
yeah,
whoever
yeah,
get or you
yeah.
get the cheapest pay.
Listen. My glasses went from the big ass, the aviator shades, aviator glasses with like the tint at the top. I had them, and then I went
Yeah.
to the Harry Potters, and then the next pair of glasses. I've literally had 3 pair of glasses throughout my entire life. But,
Oh wow.
but while I had the Harry Potter glasses, you always at Harry. when I had the Harry Potters, I was like, shit, I want to get contacts. And I was like, I want to get color contacts. And I remember I went to the optician. He was like, yeah, like you either get a designer, like you get like the color, or you get them to see. Like, what are you trying to do?
Hold
Are
up,
you trying to look cute, or are you trying
hold
to
up,
see?
hold
What's
up.
up?
Wait, wait a minute. You know, an obstetrician is a pregnancy doctor, right?
I thought there was a gynecologist.
No, obstetrician is for pregnancies. The gynecologist for
I
coochie.
was wondering. So, like
Ophthalmologist.
when I was sitting in the chair, I was wondering like why my legs got to be up. I don't know. I just figured that was part of it. Now, nigga, you
So
know what I
when
meant.
he said, "Can you stop the ball? Can you the right ball?" And the nigga with this ball juggling on
niggas
you
like
and shit, and you ain't think that
nigga,
no. You like, okay, well I can
niggas
see
like
that.
yeah. I don't know why you asked me about glasses. Cough. Look at
What you say? I can see
nigga.
clearly now. My drawers is gone.
We not finna make fun of medical sexual assault. We're not finna do.
I'm
That's what
just saying,
happened. That's what happened. I think we outside in 2 minutes. We good.
man.
So during the eye doctor, is that better if I use the phrase eye doctor?
Typically, generalizations are great, man. They're great.
So,
It saves you a lot of confusion for people that don't know. We say you at the obstetrician. It's like, is this nigga a tranny? I'm just saying to the untrained eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you
let
know,
me now you got my mind thinking about that. So let's say
I,
let's say Ren was born Ramika, right? Think about how hard up Ramika got to be to get this going. You're you're like this is
hey, bro.
you get this you only get this from being late on bills and arguing with women. This how you get
But see, yeah, but it don't connect though, so it could be an implant. It ain't no
This is real.
connection.
Look here. If you go get something fake, why you go?
Your
If you go,
mustache and beard
but
don't
if you go get
connect,
something
bro.
fake, why you go half at? If I'm if I'm gonna get something fake, right?
Your mustache and
If
beard
I would
don't
go buy a
connect. Be like,
mustache,
get
if I would go
something
buy a
on.
mustache and goatee, I'd have that Malik Yoba shit. How that shit be coming straight down and then it connect right here.
Boris
Yeah,
Kojo for me, man.
whatever. I get that
I
nigga.
have a big old highlight like
I consistently
yeah,
get that
yeah.
nigga Shamar Moore confused. Consistently. On a consistent basis. And I know exactly who you're talking about. I get consistently confused.
I can see that. I can see that, especially at this age. I
Yeah,
mean, from a
I
you
forget my
know,
kid's name from
if
time to
you ain't
time.
got the
So yeah,
glasses
yeah,
with them yeah, they
you
look the
know,
same from a distance, from 10 feet. What's up, nigga? What's that?
it's the same nigga. It's literally the same nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Which one of you niggas was with Kevin Hart? Oh, so, but no, I wanted a pair of gray contacts. I figured gray would be some dope shit.
So you thought so everywhere you went, you was like at the belly intro, just walking through the grocery store.
What was the song? Oh, chocolate pie. Was that one that was playing the D'Angelo?
Yeah, fuck the
Yeah.
slice on the pie.
You could just walk through
Yes,
that bitch.
indeed. For that a slice of the devil's
That's what
pie.
it was.
Who went violence to justify all the reasons and
Walk through the club like everybody is there for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm that nigga, but I'm cool enough to where don't nobody make eye contact. Is that shit? Yeah.
What to say? Just walking, shooting the head nod. Lord, you old man, you old Jay.
That's all it was. I wanted a pair of great contacts. How do we get on great contacts? Oh,
Some
my
more
glasses.
P.
But so yeah, what I do, like I'm supposed to wear I'm supposed to wear my contacts. You take them out every night. The nigga shit to do is take them out maybe once a month. Me, I wear my shit month and a half, 2 months. I wear my shit so much to where when I start blinking, it starts feeling like my eyelid is rubbing against concrete, like because it's so much just bacteria and shit just built up on the shit.
Sounds like you got
Yeah,
dry
that's what it
eyes.
is. That's what it is. So
There was a girl who lived with contacts in so long she grew maggots behind them. Right?
you a nasty nigga, man. That shit ain't. what third world country?
Yeah. Yeah.
How does it
She
like?
was she was a
How does that
motherfucker.
happen, man? Like how does that happen? Like literally, how does it happen? Like you, my brother, if you had contacts, you wore them. I'm never gonna question them, whatever, right? But if at some point I see something about to crawl out hey, bro, what's going on? And you be like, I don't know. Maybe it's my contacts. My next sentence is gonna be, take the motherfuckers out, bro. So you mean to tell me this young lady didn't have nobody that gave a fuck about her? Nobody gave a fuck about her.
You ever busted some stitches before?
No, I mean I can uh imagine, but
How about your been bleeding and then the band-aid start to bleed and then when you take the band-aid off you get right back to
yeah,
bleeding?
like you reopen the womb.
That's how it is. Yeah, that's just how it is with the contact. If you leave the contacts in so long, the layer of skin between your eye and the contacts, it starts to erode.
Listen,
And then when you take off the contacts, or anything gets behind those contacts,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like
mm,
there has to be a certain level of filth associated with this, bro. Like you're talking about her eye begin to get so irritated that it begin to erode. On top of, there has to be something else because the end result from what you said was maggots. Maggots.
yeah, but a maggot ain't nothing but a fly. So I mean, if a
Mother.
fly touch your eye, and you sleep, a fly land on your eyelid and lay an egg on
So
your eyelid, and you
let me
get to
ask you.
blinking.
Hold on. If you sleep and the bitch land on your eye, oh, you talking about like the outside? Because I'm thinking like this motherfucker's laying without eyes open. There's several problems here.
So you just think of this Candyman or some shit. The bitch got bees coming out eyes and all types of
I
shit. Huh?
don't know how this happened. I don't know how this happened.
When I finish this. Excuse me one moment, please.
Boo.
I loved you. What happens? I decide, not you. Now, you don't love me anymore. Well, that breaks my heart. But it's still fucking bad, because you don't gotta love me. But you will respect me.
This is INMF.
I loved you. What happens? I decide, not you. Now, you don't love me anymore. Well, that breaks my heart. But it's still fucking bad, because you don't gotta love me. But you will respect me.
This is INMF.
I loved you. What happens? I decide, not you. Now, you don't love me anymore. Well, that breaks my heart. But it's still fucking bad, because you don't gotta love me. But you will respect me.
This is INMF.
What the I loved you. What happens? I decide, not you. Now you don't love me anymore. That breaks my heart, but it's too fucking bad because you don't gotta love me, but you will respect me.
This is INMF.
And we're back up in there. I had to look at the internet.
Nothing like people tripping connected cordless wires, for real.
That's how it happens.
I like they last. Don't let your left leg know what your right leg doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. AKA walk it out.
I'm not doing this.
He's great.
Oh, P-Bo.
He's great.
Yeah. So before I had to cut out, we were talking about this young lady who apparently had wore contacts for so long that maggots grew out of her eyes, which I call shenanigans. Because apparently this young lady, there has to be a lack of real friends, because real friends at the end of the day gonna be concerned about you, even when you being nasty. And like, we're dudes, so there's a certain level of nasty we'll tolerate. Like if I came to your house and your house smelled too clean and it was just you living there, I'm gonna think probably either you got a wife that you don't want nobody to know about, or you're real.
What's a dead body?
Huh?
It's a dead body in there.
It could be. Now, if the whole house smelled like let's say like flowers, like plug-ins, no, you just one of them niggas. You probably pretty. You probably a pretty boy. But if you notice like listen to me. If the whole house smelled like cold cuts, but then you go to that back room, that just full of boxes, and it smell like flowers, that's where the body is. I done been. I know. If you go to a dude house and a room is too clean, hold on one second. What you got? I'm talking to my homeboy. You all right?
Are you making a video?
Nope.
Live streaming?
Nope.
Oh, so I said come in.
Nope.
Why?
You ready to go to bed?
No.
All right. Go on.
That didn't ring like two.
Mm-hmm. All right, buddy. Love you. All right. So that's one of the joys of being a parent. You can always threaten somebody with bit. You ever thought about how powerful it is to threaten somebody with bed? Like, it's literally like, hey, I'm gonna make you go to bed. That's your threat. That's your threat.
They blast you to the depths of Tartarus. You, what it say, be on the Lord of the Rings, you shall sleep now.
Yeah. Listen. Go in there, got that PlayStation controller, put it on ASMR, and turn the volume down to 4 to where you can't even hear it. You can just watch it. Yeah. I cut it. How Puff say? Shut down the studio. Shut down that whole bitch. But with this young lady, there has to be a certain level. Like, not only do you not have people that care about you, but there's also a certain extensive level of filth. And that's what I was saying. Like with dudes, there's a certain level of filth you'll tolerate. We nasty motherfuckers by nature. It just happens. It's nasty. The cleanest, prettiest nigga will still fart. He might call it a poop, but it's a fart. So for her to get to a point to where stuff is growing out of her eyes, I can only imagine what her feet smell like.
Well, I mean, I don't wear contacts. I mean, if you say, I think she had it on either somewhere between 2 and 6 years.
That's
She had the
nasty.
contacts
Let
on.
me explain to you how to dedicate the level of dedication you need. The reason I take mine out, remember I told you I wear them too long? Because if it starts to irritate your eye, it starts to hurt every time you blink. For her to keep them in, she withstood that. That erosion you talking about?
Or she could be cocaine.
Could be.
It's a non.
You know what? I didn't even think about that. I'm sitting here taking pot shots. She might have been under the influence. Drug?
I mean, more than.
Drugs is powerful. I mean, so she don't deserve that. I thought she was regular.
That's a
I thought
fact.
she was regular. If
That's
she
a
regular,
fact.
she nasty. If she,
Well, I mean, I would assume, like, I know you got disposable. I can't wear contact, so I assume that you have disposable contacts and you have extended wear contacts.
yeah. I mean, don't nobody really do disposable anymore with this income. I mean, with this economy, but extended wear they're disposable, but they're disposable for a long period. So yeah, that's why I'm rocking them extended wear.
Oh. So they made more like out of a hypoallergenic polymer as opposed to plastic.
I don't know why you think I know the answer to that question. I don't know what led you believe I know that shit. Would you like for me to get one to read the box? Because this nigga said, so a sausage can take, nigga, I don't know what's in a sausage. I just eat the sausage. Like, I don't.
All right, I'm not gonna have her just eating sausage.
Because you a nasty old man. A nigga can't talk about eating no meat in front of you without you trying to fuck it up.
Bro, like, you could have said pepperoni. We could have said
chorizo. You know what? Like, the two examples you gave, pepperoni and chorizo. If I would have said both of them, you wouldn't have thought about the sliced or the crumble version. You know what version you would have thought about? You know what version? You know what version you would have thought in front of people? That motherfucker that look like that old amputee leg. Looking like that balloon kind of thing. That's what you gonna hit me with. It was a lose situation. I'm not gonna step in front of the bullet because either way it go, I'm shot. Either way, fuck it.
Lord. Please.
I was scrolling through the Facebooks.
Go ahead.
I was scrolling through the Facebooks earlier this week, and I noticed that a group of parents in some suburban, probably white middle class neighborhood, wants to get a teacher fired. They want to get this teacher fired because of the way she's built, her physical dimension, the way she's built. If I were to describe how she's built, she's probably like,
Please
huh?
do. I said, please.
So she's probably about 5'7", 5'9". I'm horrible with height. I almost knocked my shit over. She's about 5'7", 5'9", horrible with height. Light skin, probably Hispanic, Mexican. So she got that Miami work. So she built like hourglass. Really slim waist. Everything broad up top. Everything really broad down under. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like you said to drink. Right?
Built like a funnel.
So ask me what class she teaching.
Please, do tell. Does she teach geometry?
She teach art to like first and second graders.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Like, oh.
got kids, man. So when it comes to kids, I have to provide canned responses, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Your kids shit on themselves. I can't be like, that's a nasty little thing. I gotta be like, oh, these are canned responses from people without kids, man.
You gotta say this is the only response you need to know. It happened to everybody sometime. That's my response. That's my response to kids. Now I
Oh
don't know if
shit.
that I don't know if that'll fit in in the situation where it's like the teacher's fine as a motherfucker. She teach little kids. She be like, it happened to everybody sometime. No, it don't. Like this kind of segue. Like when I was growing up, you didn't have teachers that fine. My teacher, you didn't. You didn't. My teacher,
I did, nigga. I was in kindergarten. It was Miss Rhonda. Miss Rhonda was like 5'2", 5'3", and had braces. She was I want to say an intern at the time. Nigga. She got to be about in her 50s, but man, I
she got to
look
be in her
she
50s
probably an
now.
old church.
Okay.
Yeah, she probably old church deaconess or
Oh,
some shit
she
right
smell
now.
like hard candy.
Yeah, yeah, with some old good old snapper and some fire head.
Uh,
No, I was a kid.
mm-hmm. You ever go?
Yeah.
You ever thought about going back shooting at her?
Nigga, that's why I just told you she probably a deaconess somewhere, you know what I'm
You should.
saying? Like, at the time when she was an intern, she had to be like, well, she probably about 15, 16 years older than me.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She might be working. You know what I'm saying? Shift manager at IHOP or something. You never know. You never know.
No. She in the church. She got to be in the
I
church. All old hoes go to the church.
for the most part, all the teachers I can remember was old white women, and even then, as perverted and horny as I was, now some of them I found attractive. So this
Mm.
this teacher probably would have gave me an aneurysm. This is an old Hispanic teacher. So I guess I'm trying to figure out. You mentioned this now deacon, this deacon that was teaching you in kindergarten.
Deaconess, please, because you say deacon, people gonna get the wrong impression.
I didn't know there's a difference.
Deacon is for males, deaconess is
But if it's
female.
a female, like, okay. I mean, I'm gonna take your word for it because I don't know. But I thought it was along the lines of coach and coachess. Like you don't have a coachess, it's coach,
No,
coach.
coach is all encompassing. Like you can say, you know, one of my nicknames was the old ball coach. So you know what I'm saying? It's all encompassing.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. But back to this teacher thing, what prompted you to bring this up?
Cause she was fine. I was wondering when the teachers get so motherfucking fine. Like when I look at her, she don't resemble any other teacher that I know. You talk about some fine deaconess that you know from kindergarten. I've never, ever,
Well,
ever.
listen, let's be real about something. You got higher credentials to work at McDonald's than you need to be a teacher now. Like they pay teachers like shit, and literally you can just come off the street and be a teacher. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like I believe Dave Chappelle did a skit back in the Gap where Tyrone Biggums was a teacher in that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
He was a special guest. Wait, yeah, he was a
Yeah,
special guest. I think this is
yeah.
still a little bit stringent. Uh, I don't, cause I don't want to make it seem like teachers are. A teacher is an honest profession, man. Like you got to really love these little bastards to be a teacher. Cause it's like you got to love them. You got to love leaving the world in a better place in which you found it. I know a couple teachers, and I admire them, and I know they don't get paid shit. I know they.
Yeah, I mean, if you say you can go get $38,000 a year and just work, 9 months out the year, I mean, it's a pretty lucrative job. If you ain't doing shit, or if you're a powder head, perfect hours for a powder head.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I seen the teacher though. She's yeah. I was hoping she had our OnlyFans.
I want to see what her feet look like. Cause on one photo, that long blue dress that she got on, it cut off right at them ankles. But from what I can see of them feet, it look like she got them caddies. I want to see. I want to.
Them ankles reminded me though. They look like a nice ham pop, boy. Nice piece of smoke meat up in there, boy.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. She got them She-Hulks. You know what I'm talking about? The feet built like your forearm. Look at straight up. I want to.
He said she got them 4 feet, P.
The motherfucker, the predator, how fat the predator was. Yeah, but even then she's still fine, and that's not what I thought about. Like, there was probably one teacher. There was the one teacher I had. I got to try to make sure I don't name names, cause I'm almost certain a crime was committed.
Oh,
I remember one day it was this teacher. She was black. And she was fine, but she was younger than the other teachers. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can tell she was young because she act young, younger than the other teachers. Like, let's say all the other teachers was in their 50s. She was clearly in her her high 20s. You know what I'm saying? One day we had a cupcake party in class, and she was eating this cupcake, and she got some icing on her finger, and she let another male student lick the icing off her finger. Now, I'm almost certain.
Oh, wow.
It's like
Wow.
eight of us. It's like eight dudes. It's like 8 little pervs. Just sit.
Nigga.
So,
Hold on. What color was the frosting, if you don't mind me
I
asking?
think it was like white. It was like birthday cake. So it was like either white or pink. Some shit like that. Oh, you a nasty old man. You a nasty old man.
I was just saying, I seen movies start off like that.
That will spit my eyes. Listen.
How did she hold the finger like a pointing finger, or did she hold it sideways?
Listen. So, like, she had the cupcake. Listen. She had the cupcake, and then she like grabbed it and she held it up, and cuz was like, "You got some of that on your finger. Let me lick it off." And then she tipped the finger like this. It was like 8 of us. We all looking like.
And did Jake say, or did he?
You know what? So let's fast forward to the day. I have my own suspicions about cuz. Right? But that may.
I'm with you, G. I'm with you. I'm listening.
I don't know how deep we should go down this rabbit hole now. Let's think about it. You
Yeah,
stirring up a pot of trouble. You ever see it like a cup, and like the cup, the top of the like the fluid at the top be clear, but you shake it up, that shit start getting murky. You're like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah, that day old polar pop.
Yeah.
At the bottom, all flavor. Once you get to the top, all water.
So if it was me, I probably would have tongue first, but cuz went jaws first. And to this day, it's one of the things where like, if you gotta be a little bit more mature than what you're being right now. This is a serious conversation. To this day, so if somebody was like, "Hey man, did you know blank is blank?" And I'd be like, "I'm not surprised." Not surprised.
He put his whole mouth on the finger.
But like, she giggled, and like that like for me and like 7 other dudes, that was our first experience in female flatteration, flatter. But that type of emotional response. But we knew that type of action would warrant that type of emotional response. We made that connection. We learned a lot more in science class than science that day.
So you're saying teachers use sex as a teaching tool could be
I'm not gonna
helpful?
say sex. I'm not gonna say sex. I want to go on record to say I'm not saying sex. I'm saying inappropriate behavior.
Again, I don't have children, so you know what I mean. It's pure speculation.
Let me tell you how inappropriate it was. Nope. I had to go through the whole conversation.
This going a little too. It's going to the point. Oh, it's so uncomfortable.
But at the end of the day, like it warrants a serious question. So like maybe you were hitting on something. Maybe the teachers these days are getting younger. It's a harder industry to fill. So the standards are becoming a little bit more lax. Not to say that a teacher should be excluded from employment because of the way she's shaped. Because I've seen some horribly built teachers. I've seen teachers built like potatoes. So if you're gonna expel someone or you're gonna exclude someone for looking fine, you gotta exclude some people for looking ugly too. That's the only balance I see. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said, I don't think you should be able to. I think it becomes to the realm of sexism, to where just because a woman's curvaceous, it automatically denotes some type of behavior pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or the way that if she was in that bit with some Daisy Dukes on and old with them tube tops or some shit or a sports bra on, then I'd be like, yeah, that's
Like she
inappropriate.
dressed
But I mean,
inappropriately.
yeah, but I mean, if she got it, you know what I mean? Like, someone would take pride in their features. So, I mean, who am I to say this, that, or the third, right? Like, but my problem becomes, right, on one end, or the spectrum, you say you have teachers explaining to children about homosexuality, but you can't have a teacher who's fine as hell.
Well, I think the same group wants the same things in this situation. I think the same group that doesn't want this teacher there is the same group that also don't want teachers explaining to your kids about homosexuality. That's a whole nother culture war that's going on. I think there's people that's like, hey, if I want my kids to know about homosexuality, I'll teach them. I don't need you nor some white woman in they white woman book telling them. And some people are like, whatever. It's the same thing with the way that this woman looks. Some people are like, look, if I want my kids to see strippers, I will make sure they see strippers. Cause
Okay, so now let's take it a step further with what you're saying, right? So we all know that you have some older teachers with some big old F cup titties that hang down to their belt line, right? And it's not the most attractive looking thing, right? But we can't. Do we reprimand them for the same thing, or is it because that we find them unattractive that we just be like, that is cool?
That's a very good valid question because what you're explaining or what you're hinting at is precedence. Precedence. I have the hardest time saying that word. Establishing a standard, basically precedent, right? Because if this woman was allowed to be fired for the way she looks, that's going to establish this precedent, the standard to be able to go the opposite way. If you're going to fire someone for being attractive, you should be able to fire someone for being unattractive, but we can't because that's discriminatory. You see what I'm saying? So no matter how much these parents are upset, that little fine ass art teacher go keep teaching these little second and third graders about these circles and triangles. Now, what they need to be worried about is this influx of husbands that all of a sudden want to start picking their kids up from school. You know what I'm saying? Because of shit.
That's something you got to deal with at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate
what time man get out? It's just 3. You got niggas.
I see you with that
nigga coming that hoe with the hot down 7-Eleven rolls that you get, the ones that be by the, y'all 7-Eleven over there in the line, the ones that be by the dope. You get the 7-Eleven roll. Hey, how you doing, Miss Lad? I just wanted to let you. Hey, no, I ain't doing nothing funny. I just wanted. You doing a good job. I mean, man couldn't draw before you came in, and now he can draw all sides. He's drawing Batman, and I love it. I really. He can need some. All that bullshit. Yeah, every day.
He was drawing stick figures. Now he's drawing full figured humans. You know what I'm saying? He's drawing legs. He's drawing abs. You know what I'm saying? Man drawing titties. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but you can't knock her for it. Though. It's literally one of those things. What can you
You
do?
upset about it.
You know what I mean? Because you can't. There's no way to enforce that without some form of
I
discriminatory
don't know.
practice. And I can understand some people being intimidated by a woman like that, but you got to deal with
I
it.
don't know.
I like to see the mama that compete with her though. You know what I'm saying? I like hey, it's got to be somebody mama who can compete, right? Who's thicker than a motherfucker, thicker than grits on gravy.
You think you
You
can be
know what I'm
too thick?
saying? And she showed it.
Like two circle. Like I'm not against surgically enhanced. But do you think it can be done too far? Like I done seen marshmallows on toothpicks. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, if it look fake, but I mean, like you get a super thick chick. She go up and down. She Miss Johnson competition, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I can
Yeah.
compete with Miss Johnson. So that's something that you got to weigh into consideration. But then again, you got people going to pick up their kids with booty shorts and bonnets and no bra
I
on.
mean,
You know what
these
I'm
are
saying?
parents and
So.
relax and shit. I mean, it's gonna happen. They also not teaching class. I think that's unfair, but I get what you're saying.
It's in the same vein.
Exposure to kids.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, for real. Like, it's normal for you, but it ain't normal for everybody else. We got to look at your mama in a bonnet with her booty out.
I can definitely dig it.
You know?
I can dig it.
Yeah. It look like, boy, you touching that ice like you trying to
Yep.
bring it back to life. You want
I'm
to
gonna
take a
take
minute to
5. Go
press
pour me
your
another
cup?
drink.
All right, so.
This is INMF.
I loved you. What happens? I decide, not you. Now you don't love me anymore. Well, that breaks my heart, but it's still fucking bad because you don't gotta love me, but you will respect me.
This is INMF.
happens, I decide, not you. Now, you don't love me anymore, that breaks my heart, but it's still fucking bad, because you don't gotta love me. But you will respect me.
This is INMF.
I loved you. What happens, I decide, not you. Now, you don't love me anymore, that breaks my heart, but it's still fucking bad, because you don't gotta love me. But you will respect me.
This is INMF.
And we back off in there.
Yes, indeed. Most some of it. Boy, I just love the that Peebo drip and the heavy hitters, man. That shit go a long way with me. For real. Like the sounds and styles of Peebo drip, man, it's just so melodic. You know what I'm saying? Like their last hit single, "Smokers Only," was pretty dope. Uh, especially they smash hit that came out in '87 called "Eat It from the Bike." Man,
Shut
I've
the
never
fuck
heard
up.
somebody describe bike riding like that in my life, man. You know, it was just such a powerful story.
Right.
You know what I mean? Such a strong ballad,
Right,
you
right,
know.
right, right, right. Yeah, they are a wonderful group, man. I actually went to see them back in 1994. I want to say it was Coney Island. It was either Coney Island or the Boardwalk in San Antonio. There was water involved. I can't remember exactly where, but it was definitely an experience. I remember they had this projector, and this projector would just show random pictures of single moms and strippers. It was like strippers doing regular tasks like walking the dogs and grocery shopping, but they was in stripper clothes. It was quite trippy. It was quite trippy, but it went with this whole like kind of theme that they had going. It was this spaceship that looked like an elevator that was sandwiched between two front, like a front and a back half of a Cadillac. Like it got a little weird. It got a little weird. Got a
Mm.
little weird.
So you're saying it go?
You broke up. What you say? Yeah.
Can you
What
hear
you
me?
say?
Oh, okay. No, I was just saying. So you just like the way that it flowed,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It got away from me. It got away from me. I went
Oh,
to the concert and I enjoyed myself and I had fabrics of memory of portions of the concert the next day, and I only had one shoe, so it
a
was a
beautiful
beautiful night.
night.
Anytime you wake up missing clothing, it's a beautiful night.
You did something right, yeah. You lived your
So
best life.
you know,
So that brings me to something in which I don't know if you seen it or not, right? But there was a digital rapper, right? The first rapper in the metaverse, right? Called FN Mika. And FN Mika was actually signed by Capitol Records on Tuesday and then dropped by Capitol Records on Wednesday. FN Mika went on FN Mika was a digital rapper at the time, and then he actually was in the metaverse rapping and saying the N word profusely, right?
is this? So
He
I was seeing images, seeing images here and there. There's a rapper that looked like Lil Pump. Is this the individual?
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. Like look, he rap like
Oh,
Tekashi six
wow.
nine.
Okay. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. And he was in the metaverse saying nigga. That's what he was saying.
Nigga, nigga,
Okay.
nigga.
Okay. What?
Hold on one
Yeah.
second, please.
Take your time, brother.
This is INMF.
I loved you. What happens? I decide, not you. Now you don't love me anymore. Well, that breaks my heart, but it's still fucking bad because you don't gotta love me, but you will respect me.
This is INMF.
We back off in now.
Yes, indeed. So my apologies.
No,
I just
you're
had
good.
I got a
Yeah.
digital disruption. I guess talk about FM Mika just disrupted my
Yeah.
whole electronical component thing,
Because
right?
when we left off, you was talking about AI saying nigga. Is what you were saying.
Yes. Well, it's not AI. These AIs are programmed by a white dude and an Asian dude.
Mm.
So literally, nigga was put into his
So,
algorithm
so
to
so
where he
Dr.
performed.
Umar just standing.
That part. That part.
You
That, that part.
you know what? They should make the program sit down with that nigga and explain how that happened.
Well, I mean, there's no need to
I
explain
know,
to it
but I want to
like
hear.
this is their perception. Well, this is their perception of
You
rap.
ever
So,
yeah. Go ahead.
no,
I was
I'm
gonna say
listening.
you ever have some kids try to lie to you and you know the truth, but you want to hear.
Nigga, I know adults that try to lie to
All
you.
right,
And you know the
and
truth.
you know the truth, and you still ask the question because you want to hear them say it. You want to hear them say it. That's power. There's power into speaking it into existence. You see what I'm saying?
You know you fucked up, right? You know you fucked up, right?
so,
You
so
know you
what was you
fucked up,
thinking?
right?
All right, so let me ask you a question. When you program that into his lexicon, who did it? Was it you? What was you thinking? What was you thinking?
Well, here's the thing about
Lay it
it,
on me.
right? The iron, right? Like artificial intelligence is built off an algorithm of human emotions, human thoughts, and human ideals, right? Like this is the first time in which we've seen racism and mechanics in a
Mm-hmm.
digital environment. Like I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago out there in California, they had those robotic search dogs and shit
I
like
remember
that,
the
right?
motherfuckers like the motherfuckers
And the
off of
robotics,
hot damn Deus Ex. The motherfuckers they dogs, but they had pointed feet and they didn't have no face. They just had a box. They could just run around, just
correct,
prancing, looking at your shit.
correct. But the dog bit a nigga. The dog literally bit a nigga. You know what I mean? Like you go back out there in Texas. What was that cop who went rogue and killed those other cops a couple of years
Oh,
back? Christopher Dorner, I want to
that,
say.
so
Was
there
it
was a
Chris
cop.
Dorner?
He wasn't in Texas. I know exactly what you're talking about. Chris Dorton was wait. I can't remember the name, but there are two gentlemen. There was a gentleman that you're thinking about that I think he started out in California or some shit, and he went up north. The dude you're thinking about was during a peace rally or a peace parade. He was up at a parking lot downtown. He wasn't ex police, but he's ex military.
No, it was a police officer, a literal police officer, and they used the automatic targeting guidance system to kill
I
him.
don't know nothing about all that.
Like they used it was the first time a robot's ever been used in a police
I know they
action.
said the bomb. Okay, you talking about the same dude? Anyway. That's semantics. But what you're talking about is when they use the so to the public to the public they said they used the pipe the bomb detonating robot, but it was a completely different type of robot they used to kill that nigga. They used a completely
Correct.
different type of shit to kill that nigga. And they didn't
Correct.
want you to know exactly what it was
They
off the
had a
rip.
T two
Yeah,
thousand up in that bitch.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they had that Patrick, whatever that motherfucker just running with that stove. Yeah,
Yeah. And the metaverse and right, like I don't know if you're familiar with the metaverse and
kinda.
stuff like that, but it's a dude, he do like a show. He does a podcast of him in the metaverse asking questions. And the first, and you know, in the metaverse, they document dialogue and all of that stuff to build an
Yeah.
algorithm, right? And the first thing in which people start doing in the metaverse is say nigger. Is young white kids
Uh,
telling the algorithm, say nigger. Are you a nigger?
so
What is a nigger? And they're just asking
so
nigger
so like
questions.
that trick should have a day run. Like as the programmers, you should see that and be like, okay, so we need to put up fail safes. All right, here's an example. I'm in a fantasy football league, and I wanted my team to be the Mansville Masturbators, and I spelled betas BAIT, it would not let me put betas in like that because the AI, the sensory program that they had in place, recognized that as foul language. Just like if you put the Nantucket nigger whoopers or whatever the fuck you want to put the college. Don't act. No.
I'm saying
The
that
nigga or the Collarville cracker catchers. The fucking, you know what I'm saying? I got one for every race. We'll go down. Anywho, right? But
so you got unlimited ammo in that clip. What you saying?
Yeah.
But my whole thing is, right, if they're like, at what point does it stop, right? Like, you don't have the wherewithal to say, hey man, we got a digital artificial rapper. Why is this rapper saying nigga? Why does this rapper have nigga up?
Go back to who you say programmed this nigga. So you see what I'm saying? Like, listen, if you go make a robot, you say you say out of all the foul words that you say the word bitch quite frequently.
Correct.
If you was to go program a robot to serve your mother, out of all the words you tell that motherfucker to use, would you include bitch in his lexicon?
No.
You see what I'm saying? Because
oh, here you are, you lovely, beautiful bitch.
Listen, I don't know how your mama would rock. My mom would call me. I had to drive an hour and 30 minutes to unplug that motherfucker and take that bitch apart, boat by boat. Because what we're not finna have is that level of disrespect, Jack. It's not finna fly.
Hell no.
It's not finna fly. So, and that's what it's about. It's about that knowledge and respect. They know you're not supposed to call black niggas, but they didn't have enough respect. They didn't have enough respect to eliminate that word out of this program, because this is a series of zeros and ones at the end of the day. They didn't have enough wherewithal, enough respect for blacks to eliminate that word out of this program's lexicon. That was the problem.
Well, that's the problem in the future, though. Like, as we move forward in a techno society, like, is AI starting to evolve? Is robots are starting to become more prominent?
Shit.
Like,
this is my
when
shit.
does it start? Is this the start, or does it stop somewhere? Right?
Listen, I fully believe in that Terminator apocalypse. I was telling a motherfucker at work that I believe in that shit. The first thing I do when I approach a new machine, where's the stop switch? Where's the off button? Where's the power? I want to know how to kill it. That's off the rip. Because I fully believe there's beauty in machines learning and adapting. With that beauty comes power. With that power comes that desire of control. And you have to understand that shit. We have to maintain the upper hand against these motherfuckers. I'm gonna sound a little crazy.
No, I mean,
if you would have told the 18-year-old me that I'd be able to bootleg movies from this, I would call you a motherfucking liar. Yet here we are. I know us. I know nerds. I know mankind. It's only a matter of time before we give the machines too much power. Too much.
Well, I think when a machine becomes sentient, that basically the power dynamic is removed, right?
No.
Like, I mean, I hate to say it and bring in a hypothetical, but like, I think the Avengers Age of Ultron is exactly what's going to happen when a computer starts to become sentient and be like, hold on, y'all killing the planet, y'all killing kids, y'all killing women and children, and
you
this
know
is
what they didn't have in Age of Ultron for Ultron? An off switch. That's what they didn't have. If you disrespect me, you got an off switch. Now, it's called manslaughter.
No, they did. Huh? They did have an off switch.
No. See, now.
No, remember in the movie, that's what jumped it off. He said, "Shut it down, shut it down." He was like, He was like, and then Ultron like, no, I'm still computing.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. You have to anticipate that. That's me at the same level of anticipating you wearing a bulletproof vest if I'm going to attack you. I got to anticipate any, because at the end of the day, you're going to do anything to protect your life, and if I want to know your off switch, have to understand that. Now, I'm talking to you as another person, but if we're talking about machinery, if I know this machine becomes sentient, it's gonna do anything to protect this life, and I have to understand that. But I also have to understand that this is a fucking piece of machine. So what I need to do is put a kill switch in this motherfucker.
Mm,
If I was gonna build a robot and make it
mm.
sentient, the first thing I'm building is a kill switch. That's the first thing I'm building.
But once it becomes sentient, though, the first thing it learns is how to override the kill switch,
I
right?
will cross that bridge when I get to it. You're probably right, but I would have to. We would at some point, one or two things are going to happen because we're going to start this chess match, and you're absolutely right. At some point, one or two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to lose this fight, or I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing. I'm going to stop trying to create something better. I'm going to create a kill switch. It's going to override the kill switch. I'm going to create an MP. It's going to create some type of shield. At some point, I'm going to say, all right, look, maybe I should, maybe I'm giving this motherfucker way too much power. I have to figure out a way to undo this and never go down this road again. The problem with scientists,
Well,
I was explaining this shit to somebody at work. The problem with scientists, the problem with nerds is that we can look at something and we always see a way to make it better. I know this because I'm one of these niggas. I always look at something and be like, I can make it better. And we make it so much better. We continue to make it better till we start fucking it up. That's just how we roll. That's why it won't be.
that's
It
right.
won't be on the nerds to have this kill switch. It's gonna be on. You ever seen the movies like the angry army motherfuckers? Motherfuckers be like, nuke it. Them niggas, them niggas just like, hey, I don't know what the fuck that is. Nuke it. They the one that's gonna save us because we gonna fuck it up and they gonna be like, look, y'all out of control. Shoot that nerd. Nuke the robot.
But the problem
Uh-huh.
becomes, right, like it's kind of like a let's use something as petty as a sex
Oh,
tape, right?
okay.
You post a sex tape tonight at 12 o'clock. Somebody screen grabs that sex
Like
tape,
myself.
right? You
Arg.
delete.
Damn it.
Let's just say you going through your page, you wanna
Yeah.
upload a family photo on Facebook, but you drunk. It's the middle of the night. You upload your sex
Yeah, you
tape, right?
accidentally fuck up. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So now it's in there to the world. So all somebody has to do is save the
Yep.
shit, right?
Well,
But you delete it at
mm-hmm.
12:01. Does it stop the sex tape from
Listen,
getting out?
we're talking about the internet. One thing I learned about the internet early on in the internet game, I'm not talking about in the 15s and 10s and with Lil John. I'm talking about back when Master P and No Limit was around, 98, 99. Anything you put,
No, yeah, line wide days.
anything, nerd, anything you put on the internet, that shit's like piss in the pool. Once it's in there, that shit's in there. You
Yeah,
can scrub as much as you want.
that's what I'm saying. But that's what AI ultimately is, though,
and,
right?
and, and
Like once AI gets out there, AI can hide itself in a
exactly.
corner in Scotland somewhere,
So
you know what I'm saying, and just be gathering information, and you wouldn't know it as a
so
programmer.
no, and that's my counterpoint. As us sitting here as nerds, as us sitting here as niggas, we understand that AI has the potential for this. So what we need to do is counter that potential. How? I don't know. I'm not a programmer.
Well, it would be
Mm,
impossible. Like it would delete the ideology of
no,
sentience
you
if you limit
create you can
what it
create
can think
fail safes
about.
because, like I said, with it becoming sentient, there's one thing keeping this AI from being human, and that's a soul. That's your moral compass. That's your morality. That's your empathy, right? The shit. Oh,
No,
here we go. Let's roll. What you mean?
no. Souls. The ideal of souls is something that's man-made, right? Like that's used to juxtapose us doing what the
Okay.
fuck we want to do. To sit back and say ants don't do ants have a heaven? Do
All right.
roaches have a heaven? Like
So
if roaches, if
okay.
anything that's hold on. If anything that's created doesn't have a heaven, then that should dilute, or should I say, defeat the whole God theory, right? So God created creatures without a soul.
I'm not sure if ants and buzzes should have souls or not. I would be inclined just in without thinking about it. I'd be inclined to say yeah, they do have a soul.
Me too. Because then basically what that to say that they don't would basically give us as humans a God
Mm-hmm.
complex, right? To where we think that we're God, to where we were made so great, to where we're better than
And we
everything
can
else that
determine
God
what has a
created.
soul and what doesn't, even though it's not our place to determine it. Mm-hmm.
Correct. But the deeper definition would be to say the ants don't have a soul. Basically, you say that the higher being has a soul. So what if there's a higher being than us? Then therefore we become the ants. So they think of us as not having
So
souls,
it's a
right?
matter of perception. And if the higher being, which is in this case the sentient beings, think of us not having a soul, we don't matter.
Correct. Just like we see in ants. I mean, if any form of intelligence was
Yep.
the only thing that limits our inhibition or how we act is the concept
Yeah.
of God, right? Like we don't get out and kill people because we have a fear of God, right?
Well,
We don't do things based upon the
we
manuscript of
don't. We
God,
can't. We
right?
can't. We can't sit and say that's not. Some people that even don't believe in God, they still have a sense of empathy and morality. You don't kill people because you know it's not your right to kill someone. It's not your right to take a life.
But you're that's intrinsically
Uh huh.
trained to you, right? Well, not well, extrinsically trained to you, right?
I don't act
Like
like I
by
do know what
by
you're talking
being
about.
given the okay, well, let me
Yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
break it down for you. By being given the
Yeah.
concept of God, it gives us I guess you can say a parameter of how to
Okay.
live life, right? You know, we rationalize God based upon the depth
Yeah.
of our sin, right?
Yeah.
You following me so far? Like, there's no rationality in God when it comes to having sex, right? Like, damn, I'm a pooch, I'm a fuck, so I pray for forgiveness before I pray to help me not
Mm-hmm.
do this shit, right?
Huh.
But you know, when it comes to murder, you feel like it's a capital offense, so you be like, God wouldn't forgive me for that, so I won't do it.
I see what you're
Like the
saying.
whole concept of morality,
I see what you're
the whole
saying.
moral concept is based on the concept of God. If you remove God, then the moral compass changes, right?
Okay. Yeah. In a scenario, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you see, you know, in zombie movies, the first thing in zombie movies that happens after the zombies start to grow in numbers, you see humans turn on humans, right? Because it no longer becomes a moral compass. Because for in order for zombies to exist, there would have to be an absence of God, right?
Hmm.
It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. So, I mean, you know, when we think about it, as you start to create art AI and artificial intelligence and so forth, so you just running me
Nah,
like that, nigga.
I'm listening to you, but you still giving these niggas too much credit. At the end of the day, these niggas didn't create Ultron, and Ultron, I'll give you that. Ultron might be world ending. These niggas created an AI that said nigga.
Yeah. But is that the start or is that
That's a
the end
start.
point?
Well,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
my
Like
heart
the
said
thing in which
my heart
Terminator
says it's
didn't,
the end point. My mind says it's the start.
the thing in which Terminator never explained who was the first person that Nail Net killed? Did they kill the niggas first, or did they just start killing everybody? Were they equal rights killers, right?
Yeah, yeah. I want to hear one of them.
You know
I
what
want
I'm
to hear one of them balls that nigga was spitting. What
Who
you
that?
got?
You ain't
Nah, I
listen
ain't
to his
listening to that
rap?
shit.
No, man, I listen to that shit. He rap
I
like
got.
Kakashi. He was like pull a nigga up, put a
Oh,
nigga
so it
down.
wasn't. It wasn't like he sprinkled nigga here and there. This nigga's like. This
No,
nigga
he
like.
went like I'm chilling with my niggas. No,
It's
kill
like
them niggas,
I
B.
like to
Kill
I
them
like to
niggas.
introduce my I like to let everybody my first single. My first single is "Kill a Nigga When I See a Nigga."
No, nigga, it was a Lauryn Hill remix, dog. It was called "Killing Niggas Softly." For real, it was the Lauryn Hill remix, "Killing Niggas Softly."
Had that had
You
that
know
Luke
what I'm saying?
interpolation that.
Fuck you, man. You childish as fuck, nigga. Fuck you,
Don't
nigga.
stop. Get it, nigga.
Yeah, but it was on a drill beat, and he was just talking about killing niggas, B. So I mean, to the untrained eye, we can look at it like rap, but to a computer, the algorithm says kill niggas, right?
Is this nigga still on the record label?
No, they dropped them the next day when people was like, "How the fuck is a computer saying kill niggas?"
So justice justice is served. The world is balanced. They should have dropped that nigga. And I know they didn't do it because out of kindness their heart. They do it to keep from getting sued. But they should have dropped that nigga. It's no way. And you know what I hate? Because this is a really cool fucking idea. But the one thing you had to do to fuck this up is the one thing these niggas did. The one thing you have to do to
Be racist
the
as
one
fuck.
thing you had to do to fuck up a dope. Remember when BT had that AI that computer generated host.
Rashida, or
Yeah, with
some
the
shit
big
like
head.
that. Yeah, and then the little hips and was moving all
I
like
thought the
this and
shit.
shit.
Shut the fuck up. I thought she was dope. But I thought that's where we were gonna. I thought we was getting to that point, to the point to where you couldn't even tell that this was not a human. This is AI. This is a sentient being. But here we are. We got we got a rapper that looked mulatto. It looked like looked like a white boy rapper that was trash, and he said nigga, which wouldn't be bad, except he was programmed by a white kid and an Asian kid. Gracias. Fucking gracias. On one
Yeah,
hand, it's a beautiful
yeah,
moment because you never thought that
yeah.
hip hop would transcend to the point to where, out of all the genres of music these motherfuckers create AI, they picked hip hop to go to that genre first. You could have created like some Bach or Beethoven shit. You could have created country. You could have created bluegrass or blues or R&B. You pick hip hop.
Well, you have to
Yeah,
recognize the
it's a beautiful
relevance of hip
thing.
hop, right? Uh, what ended slavery wasn't the fact that people had a moral compass. It was the intermingling of fucking niggas. You know what I'm saying? Of black excellence. You know what I'm saying? Like, want to be a part
Yeah.
of that. You know what I'm saying? And in order to exploit black people, you had to make them feel like they was equal. Like what happened to all the black patents and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, right? So we look at things, and when I see a situation like that, it becomes scary because even though the next one they make, and they're going to make another one, let's be clear about
And,
that. They're going, and he might be a Jack Harlow looking
and
ass
not say the
AI
word nigga at
character
all. He
now,
was just
right?
tall ass white boy.
But even though he doesn't say it, we know that the programmers have it in their mind that this is what the lick read, right? That they're still racist and they still see it like that. So if you program a computer on what not to do, it's just like as a human in the back of our mind, we're told what not to do or what's wrong. And there's always an attraction to the negative, to the dark side,
Yeah.
right? And so that computer, if you continually to tell it what's wrong, eventually, let's say they're going to be like, well, have them freestyle, have them freestyle. He get the freestyling and going off the top of the algorithm, not the top of the dome, the top of the
It's
algorithm,
classic.
and he's programmed on what not to say, but the crowd is reacting. So the algorithm says to go off the crowd energy, right? When you hit this many decibels, then you want to go harder with what you're saying, right? It's just like a
When you
human rapper,
feeding off the
right? When you
crowd.
freestyle and you see a reaction from the crowd,
You,
yeah, boy. So then he gonna be like, yeah, so I loved the girl one time. She was my world, so I dropped pearls. Yeah. And after I did that, we went and rapped and then we chilled in the back. Yeah. Then I came back with the flicky on some niggas with the nicky. Nigga. Kill 5 niggas daily. That's what I do for my
I want.
baby. And it just becomes
I
an
would like to
evolution.
actually see him performing, but him not being able to use the word nigga, but then him realizing that he can't use the word nigga, but he don't know what other word to put because it's his software, this is a program. So you just kind of have that look, that's just like,
But it goes a little deeper, Rim. I just used the N word as the
okay,
precipice for the conversation. They have him getting beat up by the
oh,
police as
appropriation.
well. Yes, and he goes to
You know what?
jail, and he's living in jail
I
like
was
an
on the
episode of
fence.
Yo
I was on
of
the fence.
MTV
Thank you, brother.
Cribs.
You have yet to steer me wrong. I appreciate it. You made my decision. Nah, this nigga ain't it. We ain't fuck with this nigga. We ain't fuck with this nigga or them niggas that built that nigga.
But all they gotta do is just change the name and put somebody else's face on it. Get a nigga, get a
Hey,
broke
bro.
rapper
Hey,
somewhere
bro.
and
This
have
nigga
him
ain't
do
it.
it.
This nigga ain't it.
Oh, I agree, but I'm just telling you what the evolution of artificial intelligence looks like. This is the
Out of all these
T1000
worlds
right
and
here,
wonders,
baby.
they could have easily built a prostitute and what they built. A racist rapper.
But when having all technology, like even the facial recognition software, like all technology in which is designed to help humanity, it has racist components and
Unless we
elements
built it.
to it.
Yeah.
What, black people? I don't think black people are capable of it. Not because we lack the intelligence. I just don't think black people, since the beginning of time, have never had a
Oh, that's
desire
what
to
we're talking about. I'm
destroy the
sorry.
world.
I'm trailing off. I'm listening, but I'm not. I missed that point. No, we wouldn't. You're right. We don't have. Are we gonna go there? I agree with.
I mean,
We would.
I'm
We
trying to
would.
pod.
We
I'm
wouldn't do that.
podcasting.
I'm just saying we wouldn't do
I'm talking my
that.
shit.
You know, I know who would do that.
Okay. So you gonna tiptoe? You gonna
Listen,
tiptoe?
I know who would do that.
When you say that snow, huh?
You know what? All of this land. I want all of this land. I want it. What?
Yeah.
What about the people?
Even though it doesn't
Let's say,
belong to
what
me,
about the
I'm
people?
gonna charge you.
Fuck them.
What's on Willow Wonka? You get nothing. Yeah, but that's where I'm at with it, man. And it's just something to take into consideration.
Yeah.
Man. You know what I mean? You, but it's a scary proposition. I know it's a rabbit hole, and I know
You done put
I'm
some shit on
long
my
winded
mind
with the
tonight, man.
shit,
I
but
don't, I don't know. You know I gotta go to
well,
bed
I
after
mean,
this.
I'm like,
I gotta go to.
most niggas. I'm not a topical nerd, right? Like I love Terminator movies. I like the
Well,
what happens in those movies, right? And it's like it leads me to it always when I would watch Terminator, it always would lead me to believe like, well, how do the robots feel about black people?
you
Like,
never see.
you
You never see it.
know what I'm saying?
Like Terminator stopping those skulls. You never looked up with this one nigga and be
Well,
like, it just kept moving.
We didn't see a black person in Terminator till Terminator
But
2.
I
And that was the
would
nigga
say,
who designed
but with
the
respect,
hand.
he was the one that did Skynet. Like he was the one that designed it.
But what did the T-2000 come back to do to the nigga? What was his job to do to the nigga?
Birthday.
Taco de Muerte, baby. Taco de Muerte. Tabula rasa. For real, Jack. Like that's what it is. The whole purpose of the black dude in Terminator was to die. It was his life's goal. He did it was a movie called John
I
Tucker Must
remember.
Die back in the gap. This Terminator 2000, the whole premise behind Terminator 2 is this.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just one side tried to kill him. One side tried to kill him before he made the chip, and one side tried to kill him after he made the chip. So he couldn't put in a safeguard for
Yeah.
that chip. So the whole premise of the movie was to kill a
Yeah.
nigga with robots, B. With fucking robots.
I should tell you something. We the ones that go save us if we can pull it off.
No, I don't know the way it's looking. It look like we the ones gonna be off first. Like for real, nigga, you gonna be the only black man on the show, like in Walking Dead with the Kingdom and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you the only nigga alive, dog. The last black man on earth.
How does it feel to look around and see you the only you? You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, imagine being the last black man on earth around a bunch of white people, and God forbid they country.
You always that. What's the reason? We shouldn't do that. We should do that. No. Put your guns down.
So,
Brush your
so,
teeth.
so what you're saying is we should just run up on a blitzkrieg and just blitz the robots with bullets and fire bombs, and the robots are made out of Kevlar and
You ever
Teflon
see?
and adamantium.
You ever
and
see like
shit?
you ever see like the squad that be facing the opposition and you had to do and then you have one person kind of turn their back to the squad and start talking like, hey, look, I don't think this is the play.
Oh, some Braveheart shit, me. Like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, this one here, nah. It's some battles you can miss. Yeah, I'm just saying though, dog. But but I know it's on a small scale, such as rap and hip hop, in which we're seeing such racism. But literally, dog, so far to my knowledge, every artificial intelligent being, an artificial intelligent entity that was created thus far has been fucking racist. Every last one of them, from the dogs to where a fucking robotic dog biting niggas to the in the restaurants, the thing that deliver plates, it don't go ask black people what they want. Like it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna stop kicking the dead horse, but it's scary, man. It's scary. These are scary times
And now I
to
got to
live
go to
in.
sleep with this shit on my mind. I appreciate you. You're a wonderful human being. You know that.
Well, if you was a nerd like you say you are, you should be working on a counter program against the racist AI. You should be
Well,
considering what length do we go to for a
well,
racist AI. Like
you
maybe a wristband
look.
that changes
If you
our
got a problem
color
with the
to
tree,
you
if you got a
leave.
problem with the tree, you can cut the branches. But we all know you need to go to the root. I can be working on the AI, but we both know I need to be looking at this program.
Well, I'm saying, nigga, hey, we can be like Predator. We can take and maybe develop a wristband to where AI can't see that we're black. You
Just
know what
go
I'm
invisible.
saying?
Just go invisible.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. We invisible to the motherfucking robots, and we be in their face on some.
I ain't with it. I ain't
You
with it.
know,
Somebody gonna fuck it up.
saying
Somebody gonna fuck it up.
Was it gonna, what is it gonna be? Some bonnet brigade hoes out there twerking in front of the robots, taking their wristband off and shit, and twerking for justice.
Shut the fuck up. I'm fading, man. I'm not finna do
Uh,
this with you all that, man.
uh, I got you. I'll say the whole topic of the show was Rem DID, man. But I do want to touch on the Jay-Z verse,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if you've heard the Jay-Z verse on the
I
Khaled
heard it one
Jones, right?
time. It was fire.
You see everybody's talking about how great the Jay-Z
Yeah.
verse is, right? And does an average whole verse change the diet? Like, is it a hip hop shattering thing, or is this just an old nigga rapping at this point?
Mm. I don't know, man. That's a good question. I think it's probably a mixture of both. Uh, there's a lot of wisdom with that age. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
also think that we're seeing hip hop in its raw beauty. That's aged. You know. So
Yeah.
I think with Jay Z, we're able to see what we're seeing. What we see with Jay Z is what people were seeing with an older Beethoven. You see him when he's learned his craft, and then you see him when he's mastered his craft, and then you see him when he's learned all the lessons that you could learn outside of mastery. You know what I'm saying? To where he has nothing to prove. Jay Z doesn't have anything to prove when he gets on this track, and he raps like it. He knows that when he finishes it verse, he's still gonna be Jay Z, and that allows him an unbridled level of fearlessness, of freedom. I mean, he's still 20, 30 years in the game, still talking about the transition from dope to music production. And it still is awe inspiring. It's still beautiful. It's still artistic. It's still,
No, I don't want to take away
yeah.
from his bars,
Yeah.
right? Because the nigga spit. You know what I'm saying? But is this like
No.
the greatest Jay-Z
I don't know if it's,
verse
so
you ever heard?
I have to sit down and think if this is the greatest Jay-Z verse. I know it's not. I know it's one of the most shockingly longest, because I expected a 16 and he gave me 5 minutes. But that's not one of the greatest lines. I mean, it doesn't contain some of the greatest lines I've ever heard. So I don't know if that, I'm almost certain it's not one of the greatest verses. I mean, we talk about
Oh,
I've heard a lot of fire from Jay Z, and there's a lot of double entendres. There's a lot of wordplay. And there's a lot of wisdom that he gives in this. There's a lot of lesson and a lot of relation he describes in his verses. You know.
so do you think? Did you hear him on the Nipsey Hustle track?
Uh, if I did, I don't recall any of it. I had to go back and listen
Okay.
to it.
Well, like, all right. Well, what we'll do is we'll take over the weekend when we come back Tuesday
Nigga,
with some more of it. We'll
did you
just
give me homework, nigga?
let No, I'm really trying to
Yeah.
just close the show and just and just set it up for a
We
follow up
can
on the
definitely
next
do
show.
that.
You
I
know
would
what I mean?
definitely check out the Jay Z Nipsey Hustle, and I'm gonna also go through my Jay Z archive, cause as a fellow pirate, you know I got at least hot damn 20 gigs of bootleg Jay Z. I'm gonna go through all these Jay Z verses and figure out which one I think hit. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, nigga.
Oh, so if you now, hey, I got that. I can go off the top of my head, man, on them
No,
Jay
like
Z joints. You know
before
what
I
I'm
say
saying?
this is
But
his best verse, there's some I want to listen to, because one of I don't know, this is his best verse. One of the coldest lines I've ever heard from that nigga was, it wasn't even on his track. It was when he did a feature on fucking Mariah Carey shit. that nigga said it's
oh,
the
okay.
emancipation of M.I. I sprayed this in me like, brah, brah. Nigga, that shit to me. It's fucking
What it say? Pay attention. This nigga spit.
that shit to me was magical. But I'd have to go back and listen through all the shit. So I'm gonna take this assignment that you give me. It's the weekend, so I have plenty of time to sit around on the couch and with my hot damn earbuds in and listen to my shit. And come Tuesday, I'm definitely gonna have for you.
Okay, so now you taking me to a different level now, Ram. So are we saying between you and me that come Tuesday we're gonna have the greatest
Yeah,
Jay Z
and
verse of all
I'll
time?
double down and say I'm almost certain it ain't gonna be what I heard on God Did.
I agree. I agree. I just don't like the expressive and people saying, "Well, this is the greatest Jay Z we've seen." If you when you hear that Nipsey verse, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
When he spit on
yeah.
that Nipsey joint, Jack, yeah, he went in. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to expound on it if you're not familiar
You
with it, but we gonna
you
go
got a
there.
whole bunch
We
of
gonna
niggas
go
that's
there.
saying that shit, and a whole bunch of these niggas don't know Jay Z like we know Jay Z. We know Jay Z before he was Jay Z. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, when it was Jigga who? Or need I tell you, I'm gonna need those keys. You leave me no choice. I leave you
Nah,
no voice.
nigga, I say he's probably right now. One of his strongest verses is his one on 1-800 1-800
Money
Hustler.
High Hustler?
FYI, I never been robbed in my
Okay.
life. Or yeah, but
Believe you me, son, I hate to do it just as bad as you hate to see it done.
we'll definitely convene on that shit Tuesday. This will be fun.
All right,
This will be
fam.
fun. I'm
Man,
excited.
I think so too. I'm a music
And, and,
aficionado, so
and no verses
that's my
excluded. We're not
wheelhouse.
talking about just
What
his
I do.
albums. Anytime Jay Z put words to Mike. All right.
It's on. All right, well, shit, man. I'm gonna go ahead and end it with that, man. Let's leave the people out on the Peebo drip, man. And you know what we're gonna do, man? We're gonna leave y'all out, and we're gonna come back with some more, on the
That'll
next
work,
go round,
man.
right?
Take it easy, man.
All right, now,
Mm-hmm.
Rem, I'm gonna get with you. Holla at me on tomorrow or
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, man.
This is INMF.